My name is Russell Denver. I'm the chair of the planning board, and I'm calling the July 30th, 2020 meeting of the East Long Meadow Planning Board to order. I'm required to indicate that this meeting is being recorded, and it's being recorded by Ryan Quimby, the Director of IT for the town of East Long Meadow. And if there's anyone else who might be recording this meeting, would you please raise your hand so we can acknowledge that? Hearing none, I will call the roll. So in attendance, we have Peter Punderson, George Kingston, Tide Richards, John Torsha, Bethany Yao, who is the planning director for the town, and Ryan Quimby is administering the meeting on behalf of the town. So the
first an audience member that's a recording as well, it looks like.
Excuse me?
It said you have an audience member identifying themselves. I'm assuming that's because they're recording the meeting.
Okay. Could that individual please state your name? Hi, Stephanie.
Her speaker is off.
Is that you, George?
Okay. So the first order of business is approval of the last meeting. I hope everyone has had an opportunity to review them. Do I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes of, I don't have the date right in front of me.
Looks like June 5th.
June 5th.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion to accept?
Moved by George.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
So by roll call, those who, well, Mr. Punderson, yay or nay?
I was not there. I didn't attend the meeting.
Mr. Kingston?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Torsha?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. So that item passes. Mr. Clerk?
You have another set of minutes, I believe, for June 9th. Is that correct, Bethany?
That is correct. Yep. We had a special meeting. Yep. So do I hear a motion to accept the June 9th meeting minutes?
I have an issue with that,
Okay.
Russ, but I'll make a motion and then we can discuss.
Okay. So do I have a second?
I'll second that.
So a motion made and been seconded. Discussion? George? George?
Appears to be frozen.
Okay. George?
Yes. What?
All right. You discussion on
yeah.
those minutes. Yep.
Under the daycare, I believe that the minutes are incomplete. The concern was with the business to the north, and there's no mention of how she addressed that issue. The minutes state that she said no children will be on the Arnold side. My understanding was that they would in fact be unloading on the Arnold side, and the Arnold side was where the play area was going to be. So I'm a little confused as to whether the record is correct on that.
Okay. So why don't we have Bethany look at that and bring these minutes to the next planning board meeting for correction.
I would agree with that.
All righty.
For that? You need to make a motion for that?
I don't think we need a motion. Or George, do you wish to withdraw your
I'll withdraw the
motion to approve?
I'll withdraw the motion to approve.
Okay.
Until we can check the record and amend if necessary.
And do we have a second motion to withdraw?
Second.
Those in favor of withdrawing that, Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Kingston,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Aye.
Mr. Torsha,
Aye.
and I am an aye. So Bethany, perhaps you can, you and George can get together on the wording for that.
May I make a comment?
Absolutely.
Regarding the issue about the Shaker Road daycare, it's not going to happen. There's been a withdrawal by the applicant.
Okay,
I had breakfast with the owner today.
okay. All right. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, SRPW 2020-17, Roots to Ends Hair Salon. Request by applicant for site plan review waiver for a hair salon at 37 Prospect Street, AKA GIS 30-34 Shaker Road, Assessors Parcel ID 27-156-D on a .44 plus or minus acre site in business zoning district. The applicant is Stephanie Goyer, 346 Benton Road, Hamden, Mass.
Is the petitioner available? Stephanie, can you hear us?
There's another Stephanie in the meeting. Let me add her too.
So I see a note from Stephanie to everyone, says, I am here.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
So Stephanie, it looks like your microphone is muted.
Mute myself. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Modern
I had to have my
technology.
daughter help me.
So we like to at least start with, so tell us a little bit about you, about your business, about the location, about the hours of operation, just so that we can begin the discussion.
Okay. I've been in the hair industry, let's see, 34 years. I've been in the East Long Meadow, salons in the East Long Meadow for about 20 of those years. I'm buying an established salon right up the street from the Rotary, and let's see, Diane Gomes was the original owner. My hours will be Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Tuesdays and Fridays. Wednesday will be 10 to 8, Thursdays 12 to 8, and Saturdays 9 to 4.
Okay, that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
So I'll open it up to the board. Any questions for the petitioner?
No, this is a established site for a hair salon. This is the one that we converted to a business district finally, I believe.
Can you say that again,
I think
George?
so.
We finally converted this site to a business district, so it's
That's
not
correct. Yeah.
non-conforming. Yeah.
Okay, we did that last year, I believe. Yep.
Yeah. So I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
So I have a motion made and second to approve. Just so that everyone is aware, and Stephanie, you're aware, so apparently there are property taxes that are owed on the property.
Yes.
So this is going to be contingent upon the property taxes being paid.
Okay. So I spoke with the owner of the building and asked about that. And he has filed a Chapter 11 on the 18th,
Who
or the
is the owner?
17th of June. Lou Machete. I'm saying his last name incorrect, I'm sure of it. He owns also the other building where the Mario's Ambiance Cafe, that whole strip.
Yeah.
He owns that as well.
Okay.
And his last name is, please forgive my grammar, because it's a toughie. Masashi? Lou Masashi.
Okay, thanks.
So Bethany, do you want to weigh in here, please? Unfortunately, you broke up during the entire, what you just said. Can you give it one more try?
And they said that there are quite a bit of taxes due on that entire property. They
So-
are working with the property owner on
So I'll ask anyone else from the board whether you understood anything she just said, or was it still breaking up?
Still
And-
breaking up here.
So Bethany, why don't you private message me?
Try turning
I'll
off your
read.
video, too.
What's that, Ryan?
You can try turning off your video. It might make the audio more clear.
Basically, what I heard was that there are
Is
a
that
lot
any
of.
better?
Oh, yeah.
Not better.
So I spoke with the collector's office. They said there's quite a bit of taxes owed on that entire property. So they are waiting to hear back from the property owner.
So essentially, our approval would still be conditional.
Correct.
Let me ask you something. Is this this is the building where, on the backside of Pete's Sweets, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I know some things about that property. Okay, we'll just leave it at that for now.
So this is a town policy on permits and approvals. So I cannot tell you how the bankruptcy plays into it. I think as a board, we can make the approval conditional upon the payment of the taxes. And what you can work out with the collector and the property owner, we'll go from there. But we can't waive non-payment of taxes. It's not within the purview of the planning board.
So that means I will not be able to get a business permit because of his paying his fee.
I believe that is correct because the town policy is no permits on properties until the taxes are paid. Now, I have no idea, I'm not a lawyer, what chapter that. And I would defer that to the collector and town council as to how that goes. Unless, Pete, you have any idea on that?
Not any idea whatsoever, but I know that in the past, we've not offered an okay to anything that has back taxes owed.
Yeah.
Just from a practical standpoint, if this property is in Chapter 11, I'm not really sure why the owner would or could pay the taxes until that was resolved first. Legally, I don't know what the situation would be, but from a practical standpoint, it seems like that would be really burdensome to deal with.
I think you're right. Mhm.
He's basically seeking protection from creditors at this point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we are back to, do I have a motion to approve the waiver requests with the condition, with the condition that that it's conditional upon payment of the property taxes owed and or an arrangement with the property owner and the collector?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I would second that, but I think we should put in there until the taxes are paid, because even if there's an agreement, it doesn't mean the taxes are paid.
So I don't know if that's within our purview to be involved in that. Any comments? Any?
In the past, if a property owner has entered into an agreement with the collector for payment of back taxes and is a that agreement, that's been considered acceptable. In other words, if he's got a payment plan, let's say. But again, I don't know what Chapter 11, where taxes stand in the hierarchy of repayment for under Chapter 11. So it's kind of up in the air, and I like it being contingent on approval by the collector. Let's put it that way.
So we do have a motion made. So let's repeat it one more time, so that we would approve the waiver request conditioned upon payment of the taxes and or
The approval of the collector.
yeah, with the approval of the collector.
Okay, I'll second that one.
Okay. Discussion on that? Hearing none. So Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
and that's a yes from me as well. Stephanie, best of luck.
So just a quick question. As of right now, I'm basically waiting for those taxes to be paid for. And I will not be able to register my business with the state, with the cosmetology board.
Well, the state's different than the town. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I have to wait.
The town has its policies about, granting, certificates or permits based upon payment of taxes. How the state does it is,
Totally different. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. I have to have the business certificate to get the cosmetology ownership of a salon.
Okay.
So I'm basically waiting for him to pay his taxes.
Or enter in a payment agreement with the collector.
Okay,
Okay.
I see.
Now, who will notify her?
Well, I would suspect it would be the owner of the property who's going to want to get his rent payments.
Okay.
So,
Right. He's got his rent payment already from me, but
But you're not
I
in yet.
mean, it's not in yet.
You're not in yet.
No, but I am going to be. I am working there. I just took over. There is a woman that's still working there, the actual owner of the building, of the business, Diane. It's her salon. I'm purchasing it. So I want to take over and start a new business in her establishment.
Yep.
But I have to wait for Lou, basically.
Yep.
Okay. All
luck.
right.
all righty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thank you.
Mr. Clerk?
SPRW 2020-18, Meraki Permanent Cosmetics and Aesthetics. Request by applicant for site plan review waiver for a permanent cosmetic and aesthetics business at 280 North Main Street, Assessors Parcel ID 14-12-F on 1.25 plus or minus acre site in the commercial zoning district. The applicant is Tanya Artioli, 179 Allen Street, Hamden, Mass.
Hi,
And here she is already.
here I am.
Thank you. So if you've been watching the meeting so far, so we'd like to know a little something about you and the business and the hours of operation and what's going to take place within your business. So if you could start from there, that'd be great.
Sure. Been a master esthetician since 2009. And I've been practicing aesthetics ever since then. I've been doing microblading, permanent cosmetics for the past 5 years. So within my business, I do microblading, which is just the eyebrows, which we use all disposable. And then I also do skincare consults, facials, and waxing and makeup artistry.
And what do your anticipated hours of operation are going to be?
So it's appointment only basis. I'm available Monday through Saturday, whenever a client can come, but it's going to be around maybe 11, 12, max until 7 o'clock at night.
So I open it up to the board. Any board member have any questions of the petitioner?
Yeah, the only comment I would have is if you're doing permanent cosmetics and microblading, then the Board of Health needs to issue a permit for that.
Yes, yes, I do have all that paperwork all set. I have been in contact with Donna Bowman. I did have her come look at the space already, just to make sure there's no posing any issues. So once I get the approval from you guys to be able to go ahead and submit my paperwork to the Board of Health, I do have that all set.
Great.
Good.
Good. Thank you for being on top of everything.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to start working.
Are you, so what is your status under the reopening plan for the state?
So I was part of, which
Okay.
opened up last Monday.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do I hear a motion to approve the waiver request, site plan waiver?
Motion
I'll
made.
make a motion.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. So welcome to town and best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I have
Thank
a
you.
question. Is this the reminder building?
Yes, it is.
I'm Lauren's dad.
I know. I saw the last name. I said, oh, that's Lauren's dad.
Good luck, okay?
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. Have a great
Good luck.
night. Thank
All
you.
right. Mr. Clerk?
SPRW 2020-19 Bombshell, request by site plan review waiver for a hair salon, 511 North Main Street, AKA GIS 513 North Main Street, Assessors Parcel ID 1-14-4 on a half-acre plus or minus site in the business zoning district. The applicant is Carrie Wallace, 9C Castle Hill Road, Agawam, Mass.
So is the petitioner available? So Carrie, if you can hear me, it looks like your microphone is muted.
I'm sorry.
There you go. Okay.
Can you see me? I can't see any of you.
We cannot see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can fix this.
So
Join-
at the
video.
bottom of the screen, it should say video, and yours might say, there might be an X across it.
It's right
Oh,
next
there
to
you go.
you.
Wait a minute. No, I can't.
Yeah,
There
we
you
can
go.
see you.
I can't see any of you, but that's okay.
Okay, we can see you.
Probably a good thing.
No.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you. So we like to hear a little bit about you as the petitioner, about your business, how long have you been, in this practice, what your hours of operation are anticipated to be?
Okay, so yeah, I've been in this industry for 14 years, and I started working in Springfield, and then I worked throughout in East Longmeadow. So I've actually grown to really love the town of East Longmeadow, and I have a lot of clients from this area as well. And my business hours, I'm thinking, would be Tuesday, 10:30 to 8, Wednesday, 10:30 to 6, Thursday, 10:30 to 8, Friday, 10:30 to 6, and Saturday, 10:30 to 5. And with the new protocols, basically, we are doing by appointment only, just while everything is going on. Otherwise, we would be operating under those hours with just like, you could come right in, walk-ins welcome. But at this time, we are not doing that. Basically, it's just a hair salon right now, and I have one other employee. So we're starting very, very small and hoping to grow.
Okay. I'll open it to the other board members. Might have any questions?
Is this Earl Quimby's building?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
All righty. Hearing no other questions, do I hear a motion to approve the site plan waiver request?
So moved, George.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion made by George, seconded by John. So we'll need to do a roll call vote because we're on video. Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. So that item passes. So the best of luck to you.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next item, Mr. Clerk. George, we can't see you.
I know because the charter won't support video in my system. So
Okay. All right. Ty?
SPRW 2020-20, Veterans Club patio relocation. Request for site plan review waiver for the relocation of a previously approved patio for the east side of the building to the west side of the building at 3 Legion Court, Assessor's Parcel ID 27-20-3 on .39 plus or minus acre site in the industrial zoning district. The applicant is Gunther Rowley, Post 293, American Legion Inc., 3 Legion Court, East Long Meadow, Mass.
I
and
see a Roger Kellman. Are you here representing the Post?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, George here for a second. I
Yes.
need to recuse myself from this because I recently became a member.
Okay, great.
Thanks,
So
George.
so tell us about the proposal.
Yes, my name is Roger Kalman. I'm the Assistant Finance Officer with the Post. The Post was chartered by the American Legion in 1930. We've been in operation at 3 Legion Court since 1936. We do have on the first floor is our main meeting room and function room. The basement has the bar and lounge area. And we have a small existing patio area just outside the front door. We did receive planning board approval for a site plan waiver in 2017 in order to establish a larger patio with the liquor license that would have been on the east side of the building. We've decided that it would be better to locate it around on the west side of the building. So the latest site plan that we submitted shows the new layout of the patio. It's approximately the same size as was previously approved and authorized by our current liquor license, but we just relocated to the kind of around to the back of the building a little bit.
Okay. So I'll open it up to the planning board members. Anyone have any questions of the petitioner?
How many people would be able to go onto the patio?
I would say, I mean, I've got it laid out with, let's see, kind of, 3, 6-foot picnic tables. So I would say at the most, maybe 18 people, something like that, plus our barbecue cook when he's out there.
Pete, did you have a question?
Has the site plan been submitted yet? Because in reading through the information that our packet, I didn't see anything on it.
There was a site plan that was included. What you got in your packet, I'm not sure,
Okay,
but it was
as long as it's
an
been
11 by 17
okay.
site
Yep.
plan. It was part of the submittal. I'm not sure what got into your package.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board members? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the request?
So
I'll
moved.
make a motion to approve the request.
So do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion made and second to approve the request. So we have to do a roll call because we're on video. Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. Best of luck to you. That item passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
SRPW 2020-21, Driscoll Photography. Request by site plan review waiver for a home office for a photography business at 28 High Street, Assessor's Parcel ID 28-42A-B on .42 plus or minus acre site in the residential C zoning district. The applicant is John T. Driscoll, 28 High Street, East Long Meadow, Mass.
Hello, John. John, your microphone is There you go.
Yes, how are you, Russ?
I'm well. Good to see you after all these years.
I was going to say, it's been a while.
It's been a while. So as we ask each petitioner, tell us a little something about yourself, about your business, what you plan to do at the home, that type of thing.
Yeah, well, the business was started in 1996. I believe that would be 24 years in business. And originally we opened in Springfield, and we've been in East Long Meadow for about 2 years. We had closed a studio in Springfield, and we're currently renting the house we're in, and it's just my wife and I. It's a fairly big residence. It's a little over, I believe, 2,100 square feet. And we had looked at this purposely because of the size and the, as you can see, I'm sitting in the studio here. It's just one room. It had originally been the master bedroom. We use that, or would like to use that, for the studio. And as far as operating hours, they're by appointment, but we try to stay within a 9 to 5 time frame. Probably 80% of the clients that come here for pictures, it's for corporate. So I'd say attorneys, real estate agents are really make up the majority of folks that come for their pictures. There's no family pictures done here. I mean, again, you can see we can really only get one individual in here. And again, with attorneys and real estate agents, occasionally we'll be flexible enough to have somebody come maybe early in the evening or on a Saturday. And again, it's not, I wish I could say we had a line of cars coming in, but probably if we have one person a week, that would be quite a bit, because most of the work we do is on location. So it's not, doesn't really take place here at this residence.
Do we have questions from the planning board members?
Yeah. If he's actually using the place as a studio and taking photographs there, it's not an allowed use. Under, where is it here? 3.066 of the schedule use regulations.
Okay. I mean, what does that specifically say?
It says studio for professional photographer and artist. It's not allowed in residential. So if you were using it as a home office and going out and taking pictures of people elsewhere, that would be allowed. But using it as a studio is not an allowed use. Unfortunately, that's the way it's written, and it's written that way because photo studios generally generate foot traffic from customers, and that may not or may.
Yeah, certainly understand that. We do carry our own insurance, which we do write a certificate of insurance to the gentleman that does own the property. So we are covered, and he has his own coverage, and we have rental coverage. And like I said, it's very minimal as far as folks coming here. The majority of work is done outside. But again, I mean, if that's the way it's written, and that's the way it's written, I mean, that's pretty straightforward.
That is the way it's written. So George, what would you recommend that we turn the waiver request down, have John refile it with an indication that there will not be usage of a studio in the premises?
I would suggest that he withdraw the request and resubmit it. That way it would be without prejudice.
Okay. Yeah, because it's still, I mean, I certainly would want to use it as an office. As you can see, it's, something where we do have, do the paperwork here and our bookkeeping.
And you
rather than us vote it down, you should just withdraw it and reapply as a home-based office.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the best way for you.
And if you wish, I mean, you can also petition the board to change the bylaw. I mean, that I've seen people do that as well, and we'd have to take that under consideration. But
I certainly understand. I mean, it's that's the way it's written for the town, then, we follow the rule. And so I guess on the suggestion of this gentleman here, probably just withdraw and we can resubmit it in the future.
So why don't we just take a vote to allow the withdrawal of the petition without prejudice?
So moved.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
So motion made and second to allow the petition without prejudice. So Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. We look forward to seeing you again, John.
All right, very good, Russ. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Everyone. Yes, thanks.
Thank
All
you.
right, John, we look forward to seeing you.
Next item.
SRPW 2020-22, W Mass Realty Professionals, a request for site plan review waiver for a real estate sales office at 443 Shaker Road, Unit D, Assessor's Parcel ID 20-1-0 on a 52.68 plus or minus acre site in the Industrial Garden Zoning District. The applicant is Robert Malta, 443 Shaker Road, Unit D, East Long Meadow, Massachusetts.
So is the petitioner available? Ryan,
I see a Steph in the audience.
Yep, that's right.
Stephanie, your microphone is muted.
Yep, getting there for Bob.
Okay, yep, you're there. Okay.
I'm Robert Malta.
Hello.
Hi.
So-
And can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
So I'm the broker owner of Real Living Realty Professionals. We're the largest real estate company in Western Massachusetts. We'd like to join the Cardamonde campus over here in East Long Meadow. We'd be putting in our New England regional headquarters with about 30 people within the building. This company, I've been in the business for 32. This company was originally Landry Lyons and White way back in the day. And then it became Carlson GMAC. Excuse me. So our business hours will be Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Is there anything else I can add to that?
No, I mean, how much driving to your property would there be from, prospective home buyers or sellers, or is it more of you go out to people's homes, that type of thing?
Right. So, I mean, we have 300 sales associates and 7 different offices throughout Western Massachusetts and Connecticut. Our business, what we found recently, it is being all done over online through Zoom meetings, through Dotloop, all digital signature. There's very few people coming in from the public into the offices. We will have that, on occasion. We will have, for the most part, it'll be the 30 sales associates coming into the building.
And how much square footage are you taking?
There's, much more than what we needed. So it's 7,500 square feet of space, but it's a beautiful building. We came over from Long Meadow and we're gonna, relocating here.
So if you could just orient us, so standing on Shaker Road, looking at the front door of Cardamonde, are you to the left, to the right?
So we're on the right-hand side. It's called the north wing. So we occupy the entire right-hand wing of the building.
Okay.
It's kind of near the entrance of security.
Yep. Okay. I'm familiar with Cardamonde. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'll open the floor to questions from other members of the planning board. Anyone have any questions of the petitioner?
Sounds like a good use of space in the industrial garden park.
Yep. It does. Any other questions? So do I hear a motion to approve the waiver request? Do
So moved, George.
I have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Thank you. So we have a motion made and second to approve the waiver request. So by roll call, Mr. Punderson,
Aye.
Mr. Torsia,
Yes.
Mr. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Kingston,
Yes.
and I am a yes. Russell Denver is a yes. So congratulations. Best of luck. When do you think you'll be opening there?
As soon as possible. We'd love to be in. The COVID virus has, set us back a little bit on our plans, but as soon as we can get in, we'd love to be in. So
Good.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Now I've got new public hearings, there are none. And then other business would be the update of the mixed use district.
So I will ask whether there's any member of the town council. Hi, Marilyn. So I take it Marilyn is going to give us an update, but her microphone is muted. There you go.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So Marilyn, just before you get started, if I'm lucky enough to be elected chairman for the next year, I'm going to be taking this off the agenda. It's been a year, which is an exorbitant amount of time. Know that you're new to the town council, and congratulations. But I think we will be asking Bethany to kind of give us an update when she does the director's report from this point forward. But now that you're here, and thank you for being here, can you kind of give us where we're at with it?
Thank you. Always happy to be here. I wondered if I didn't come, whether you would miss me. Anyway, as you know, this has gone on for a long time, and we struggle with this, and it's not my responsibility to many times control what happens with the committee. So we do the best we can. Zoomed meeting on June 23rd. The chairman of the committee met with or had phone conversations with Attorney Michael Pill, who was reviewing the bylaw document for legal issues. 3 issues have been under discussion, and the thrust of our meeting on the 23rd was to review those 3 issues. The first one was the issue of the percentage of affordable housing. Now, you will know that we have always maintained 10%. That was it. We want to offer some affordable housing to East Long Meadow to meet our regional fair share. And the feeling was we did not want to encourage a large scale affordable housing project. We felt the impact on services would be tremendous. That being said, the committee still focuses on 10%. Attorney Pill wanted us to do a maximum amount. Well, maximum is 10%. And so Don Anderson, the chairman of the committee, will be discussing again with Attorney Pill some language which will say that the requirement is 10%, the maximum is 10%, the number is 10%. However it plays out, that's all we are looking to add to this project. The second piece was the suggestion that we perhaps may want to restrict the number of bedrooms. I know from discussion with the former applicants that they have never been eager to create more than 1 to 2 bedrooms with the rental apartments. They talked about a good percentage of them being single bedrooms. However, that's that applicant. Someone else could think differently. The suggestion we got from the applicant who joined us in Zoom, John Decana and John Conley both joined us for our discussion. And they both felt that 1 to 2 bedrooms for apartments rental was reasonable, and that agreed with the perception of the committee. The other piece, items for sale, condos, townhomes, up to 3 bedrooms, because we do recognize that not all rooms are used for sleeping. We need offices. I mean, look at us, we're all sitting in our offices. People like TV rooms, they like other uses other than bedrooms. Plus, our parking formula is driven by the number of bedrooms. And at least this applicant or future applicant is very cognizant on the number of parking spaces. So that is in the works, but that's probably how that piece will play out. And the third piece, which was the most troubling, was the contract zoning. And as we were led to believe from the committee chairman through conversation with Attorney Pill, that you could, in essence, go into contract with your host community agreement, prior to the rezoning of the land to protect the town. And this did initiate a great deal of discussion because I, for one, Ralph, for two, you know, Connor, we all felt, how can you negotiate a host community agreement when you haven't seen a site plan, you haven't seen special permit, you don't know what's being offered, you don't know what the impact will be with what's being proposed. And so we basically left it that that's not something that I would support. We did not take a vote because the committee chair was concerned that possibly he misunderstood what we were supposed to achieve with this contract zoning. So he's going back to Attorney Pill with these 3 issues for language, but I'm hopeful that the next meeting, which will be July the 7th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, also by Zoom, will be the last one. I mean, I would love for it to be the last one. No offense, guys. So anyway, that's the scoop.
Thank you. Does any member of the planning board have any questions of Marilyn and the work of the committee? So I will throw something out there for consideration. So I find it unusual to, and if I got this wrong, please correct me, that there be a percentage of affordable housing as part of the multi-use zone language. I would have thought that it would be more appropriate if the town wanted affordable housing, that be negotiated as part of the host agreement, rather than it being part of the requirement of the zone.
It's the document we're working on is creating the zone, which is a mixed use village district. There are development standards within that zone, and that's where there's a whole section, well, a small section on affordable housing. So yes, based on the previous proposal, which was to be higher end luxury housing, there was major concern that the impact of this type of housing on East Long Meadow would put our required or regional fair share way out of whack. And so that was why the 10%. It will also be mentioned in the host community agreement. I know that from what we've talked, but there is a specific area that requires the 10%. In fact, there's a formula how it plays out. The first 24 units are not affordable. The next level has so many affordable, and then it just works up till you get to 10%.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if that helped, but that's my.
No, that's good. Thank you.
Marilyn, you said that the maximum was 10%. What's the minimum?
10%.
So
See,
it's 10 max, 10 min.
Right. When we originally spoke, we felt that 10% was reasonable. Then when we went through all of this COVID situation, there was a concern all of a sudden that the thrust of the project might change. In fact, there was some discussion for a short while whether it would even move forward. And so we were concerned if there was a different market out there, how would we adjust to a developer coming in, not necessarily this developer, because this could happen other places in town. What would we do if someone said, I want to do 20%, which is the minimum for a 30, the minimum. It's generally what a 30B project would bring to a community is 20% affordable. And we didn't want to go that route. We wanted to provide an opportunity for the 10%, but also protect our resources moving forward. That's how it got to that point. 10%.
Marilyn, I have a question for you. Hi.
Hi.
Hope you're well. You look well.
Thank you.
What's the total number of units?
400, maximum 480.
Okay. Just to get an idea what the 10% is going to come out at.
48 units.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
Right. But we don't know that. We don't know that specifically, but that's the maximum based on the parameters that are established with the criteria.
Affordable units, do they have to be a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or what do they have to be? Or is it up to the developers?
They're looking at rental, 1 to 2 bedroom.
Okay, 1 to 2 bedrooms. All right.
And I would expect that the affordable units would be part of the rental units.
Yeah.
And the condos and townhomes would be up to 3 bedrooms. At least that's what we were discussing at the last meeting.
Makes sense. Okay, thanks.
Also, Tide, I know you had trouble getting in on our last meeting, and I don't know what happened. It was just like me coming into your meeting tonight. I went on the agenda and clicked the link, and I sat in the audience until you wanted me to come in. I mean, you could have joined us, but we don't send a panelist invitation to everyone on the planning board. It's just the committee members that get that kind of an invitation. So
Yeah, I thought I was supposed to be there, so that's why I didn't know, but I couldn't even find the agenda online anyways.
Okay. Well, you're welcome to join us again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Next item.
Chestnut Street update. And the solar moratorium.
So the town council met last week and took first step approval on a solar moratorium. Be good for 1 year, essentially from the date of the passage. They are at their next meeting. They expect to take the second and third votes for that item. It then would give us, like I said, a year to essentially see where this court case ends up. Also give us an opportunity to look at other communities and how they have developed, zoning ordinances that have complied, I guess, with the court's decisions related to this. So I'm appreciative of Ralph Page kind of picking it up and moving it forward. So that's kind of where we're at with respect to that. I don't know if anybody wants to add anything else. Okay, next item, Mr. Clerk.
Partial release of bond, Bella Vista Estates, Phase 1. Request by applicant for a partial release of bond for Bella Vista Estates, Phase 1, lots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, is held under ownership by BVE LLC, Bella Vista Land Holdings LLC, and Nano Realty LLC. The applicant is Kent Picoy, Bella Vista Landing Holdings LLC, 215 Baldwin Street, West Springfield, Mass.
So I'd like to call upon Bethany, who is our planning director. And Bethany, could you kind of walk us through this, please?
Sure. So we have spoken with the town manager and also DPW to make sure that the partial bond release or the remaining monies is enough to cover any outstanding items. DPW has recommended the partial release, and they have stated that there is enough funds to cover any outstanding items. The town manager is viewing this as an accommodation, not to set a precedent for future subdivisions and partial releases.
Given the economic conditions of the pandemic.
Correct.
Yeah. So I don't know if someone from Picoy, the Picoys are in the audience. Do you see anyone, Ryan? Hello? So your microphone is, there you go. Hello.
Evening.
Good evening. So can you just tell us a little bit about the project, how far along you are on it, what needs to be still done for the completion of it?
There's just a few things remaining. This partial release is just to cover the paving, which that went down last fall. There's a few minor things. There's a couple of catch basins that got to be raised off of the roadway. And that's pretty much it. A very short list of things beyond this that has to be done. Getting them scheduled really is the issue.
And Mr. Chairman, I do have a letter that I can read into the record
Thank
regarding
you.
part of this matter.
Thank you.
This is a letter from Thomas Christensen, Deputy Superintendent, Department of Works. Dear Mr. Denver, the East Long Meadow Department of Public Works takes no issue with the partial bond release of $72,000 for Bella Vista Phase 1. The remaining balance funds of $41,809.43 will be more than adequate to cover any and all outstanding items that exist in the subdivision. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thomas Christensen.
I open the floor to the members of the planning board. Anyone have any specific questions?
No, George Kingston here. Typically, we defer to DPW on this. They were the ones who asked us to not do partial releases in the past, but if they're happy with this, then I would be happy with this.
Okay. Anyone else?
Those are my comments too.
Okay.
Yep.
So do we have a motion to approve the partial release of the bonds for the lots specified in the petition?
So moved, George.
Do I have a second?
I'll second. Nobody else will. Pete.
Any discussion? Hearing none. So we'll have to do a roll call. Mr. Punderson?
Aye.
Mr. Torsia?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Kingston?
Yes.
And I am a yes. So that item passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Right now, the 5 of us will be running for office. Election of chairman, vice chairman, clerk for the period of July 1st, 2020 to June 30, 2021. I'd be more than happy to run for office for clerk if anyone would have me.
I'll second that. I'll make a motion to accept that.
And I will be happy to stay as vice chair.
I make a motion to accept that.
I'd be happy to do it if no one's going to volunteer to stay as chair.
Go right ahead, Russ.
Okay. Well, someone should nominate me.
Oh,
I'll nominate you, Russ.
I'll nominate you. And I'll second all those motions. And obviously, you can't second the clerk one, but perhaps the other two I could.
I nominate Ty Richards as clerk for the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Punderson.
You're welcome, buddy.
So we have Russell Denver as chair, George Kingston as vice chair, and Ty Richards as clerk for a period of 1/2020 through June 30, 2021. So by roll call, Mr. Punderson.
Aye.
Mr. Torsia.
Yes.
Mr. Richards.
Yes.
Mr. Kingston.
Uh-oh.
George.
You might
No wine to celebrate, George.
Well, and Russell Denver is a yes. So
I'm a yes if you're trying to get me. I can't hear you.
okay, we are trying to get you. Thank you. Okay. So thank you all. So I was chair for the past year, and it kind of felt like it was a reactive year. So as things came forward, we acted efficiently and professionally on all the items that came before us. I would like to maybe think of us being a little more proactive. And by that, I mean looking at things within the zoning bylaws that we may see that we should propose changes to the bylaw I'll tell you specifically for me, for quality of life issues, things that are allowed, not allowed in certain zones. Things that just might need to be I would like to propose that from this point forward that we have Bethany at each meeting give a director's report, kind of just, projects that will be coming forward, what new things will be in the pipeline for our next meeting, things that she might be working on now that will potentially come before the board so that we're kind of aware of them very soon, sooner rather than later. So those type of things. I know that hopefully we'll get a positive word on a master plan dollars from the state. That would be a good thing. And I know that we're going to need some push from the board to kind of make that all happen, and would be involved in all of that as well. So I think it could be a very interesting year moving forward, and I'm very happy to serve with all of you on the board. So
Glad to have you.
Yeah, I like the idea of being more proactive. That's great. With the report regarding Bethany, I don't think, I'm just speaking, we need a big, long written document or anything, just a couple bullet points of what may to expect in the future. I just don't want to bog her down with a lot of unnecessary paperwork. And also, have we made an announcement yet on Bethany's new position effective tomorrow?
I think it's actually effective January 7th. I mean, July 7th.
Oh, not till July 7th. Oh my Lord, you got another week to go.
Well, Tide, you started it. Why don't you make the announcement?
Well, I've been told, and happily told, that Bethany will be the new director for the planning board in the planning department effective July 7th, which is the fiscal year beginning of the fiscal year for the town of East Long Meadow. So I'd like to say congratulations, and board members feel the same way.
And she's also the community development director. On top of
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep. Best of luck, Bethany.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Bethany.
I think we look forward to working with you.
And she comes with a degree in planning, which is wonderful.
Yep. It's really good. Do you have anything you want to say, Bethany?
She just went to go grab a beer.
All right.
She's writing something. My audio keeps cutting out. Happy to be working with you all.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful.
So we have no other items on the agenda. Our next meeting will be July 21st. So we will not be meeting next week.
Hello.
So, all right. So we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a second.
I'll second that.
So unfortunately, we have to do a roll call. Mr. Punderson?
Aye.
Mr. Torsia?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Kingston?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Everyone enjoy your 4th. Thank you.
Same to
Take
you,
care.
Russ. Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Ryan.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
You got it.